Business Channel for business class programming.
Meteor Electrical is a web-based distribution company, and we supply across the remit. We do into industrial, we do commercial, domestic, agricultural, government, and our product range is basically satisfying the electrical needs. Well, lowering carbon emissions, I think, is now important to everybody. You know what I mean? Not just business. I think probably the thing that has to happen here is the culture has to change, and people have to start really thinking about reducing costs and reducing energy. From our business standpoint, it's obviously very important because the vast majority of our customers are either electricians or businesses, and you know they're sitting in this position that they have to reduce costs. And the good side in this here is that from our electrician standpoint, you know, this is a win-win situation because they're doing work. They're providing a service, the customer is reducing energy, and they're saving money at the same time. So, you know, this is not a very difficult business to be in. I think it's probably an easier business to sell or an easier concept to sell. It's said now in hotels that energy costs are 60 to 70% is caused by lighting. Now, there's a lot can be done on this here. You know, if people are using conventional lighting, you can move to compact fluorescents or energy saving lamps, and you have immediately 60-70% saving. Now, if you take it a bit further than that and you go to LED lighting, which is ultimately, I think, where everybody's going to go with this, and the difficulty at the moment is that LED is still quite expensive, but you know, I think that companies have to really look at it, and I think government should look at this. If they're providing energy-saving loans, I think that they should slant them in favour of people who are using LED lighting, because that's a much better long-term result. It's much better when it comes to the end of the cycle. They don't have to have special treatment as you will have to have with a lot of low-energy lamps which contain mercury, whereas to the best of my knowledge, most of all LED will be straightforward scrappage. So I think there's a lot. There's a big range of products there, and probably one of the advantages for us as a distributor is that we can select from everybody's product. Now, whereas if you're a manufacturer, you know, no manufacturer can be expected to do everything. Whereas a distributor has the ability to deal with all manufacturers, and you know that's one of the areas we're looking at. You know what I mean? There are some manufacturers we don't deal with, but in the main we deal with most of them. And what we're trying to do is to increase the spread of product, or increase the spread of product base, and the options or the opportunities for the customer to actually get the best product for themselves at this time. I think that the key thing you do is you try to provide people with the right product, to reduce the right energy saving product. You know, and it's too easy sometimes for suppliers to sell what they have, not what really the customer needs. And I think this is where we're trying to deal with a lot of different manufacturers to be able to have the best selection. If it's a small job, or, you know, and some customer contacts us, our own engineers can do, say, a lighting spec for them, be able to recommend what will give them what saving. Now, if it's a bigger job, we would then use some of the consultants. We use a company called Soltex Global, but again, you know, they then would use other consultants, you know, right across the country, because there's no real point in having somebody travelling all over the country to do this. There are loads of people in every area who are qualified and capable. So really what you want to happen here is if a customer has a requirement in a particular area, that you get a consultant in that area to go in and spec the job, go in and see, you know, what their real costs are currently, what their areas for saving are. And you know, sometimes, you know, if you have a good consultant and they go in and do a good check here, you know, sometimes it's about the use of equipment. How do you actually use equipment they already have? and it's about having good people to go in and do that sort of spec to help people to get the end result. Any web-based company now, it's the onus is probably on a web-based company more so than when companies are meeting face to face. That service has to be number one. You know, you really have to provide the service. I think probably in traditional companies you got away with being able to talk to the customer, and if there's a wee problem you got sorting it out. Meteor Electrical being a web-based company, you don't maybe get a second chance, so you have to get it right first time. You know, you really have to work on this type of backup service.
The Business Channel for business class programming.